Hey, it says we're live, so we must be live. Hey guys, welcome to another Plasticast. I'm joined here by the whole group. This is kind of crazy. Don's not fashionably late.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry. I mean,
Well, we're
I
technically fashionable.
yeah, just to just like not even 12 hours ago, I was on a cruise ship docking in Norfolk, Virginia, and then 12 hours before that, we were like off the coast of Wilmington and New Bern, and this
Hey,
time last, and so we just got back from San Juan. Amber Cove in the Dominican Republic and the Grand Turk Island.
Nice. So did you get a nice tan?
I don't tan, I just get hot. I really do never. I just sit there, get hot, and get a little bit of sunburn. I didn't get any sunburn this time, but I don't tan. I just
that's kind of
if you take
that's kind of like me. I don't tan either. I get like cherry red, then I peel, and then I'm ghost white.
yeah,
Huh.
uh, there wasn't much in the way of shopping for things that we purchase. There is a Walgreens directly off the dock in San Juan. There's a lot of American companies in San Juan, obviously, but I walked into the Walgreens to get some postcards because they were much cheaper than on the ship, obviously. And all they had was one Cyberverse Flip Changer Soundwave and six Marvel Legend Quasars.
Oh,
Which I love Quasar, but he was from 3 years ago, so yeah,
They're a little behind the times.
that's pretty much it. Uh, Amber Cove was some beautiful water, very rough surf. It really could not go in the beach at all. Shopping was mostly what you would expect from a tourist destination, but we did go on a tour of the Dominican Republic. Went to an actual local farmer's home, saw how they lived, learned about the how they live in generational housing, where the house is passed down from one family member to the other. How you could have up to five, six, seven generations living in the same house.
hmm.
Saw the crops they grow. Saw a demonstration of actual how they make coffee in the Dominican Republic. Had a coffee tasting. Uh, this one little house had it was a small farm. They grew sugarcane, mangoes, guava, plantains. When we had a meal break, we actually were given the ingredients to make a dish called mofongo, which is a beef or chicken or fish, plantains, cheese. Just it's a very very local dish that's a major part of their diet. Uh, Grand Turk, we took a tour on a duck boat. Uh, Surprisingly enough, we toured around one of the coves, saw some of the shipwrecks from two of their previous Class 5 hurricanes that basically put several deep sea fishing and tour guides businesses out of business because of the damage to their ships.
Oh wow.
Saw some of the local infrastructure, learned about some of the local people. Um, just an overall very eye-opening tour of places that the average American may know the name of, but that's not much. So we learned a lot about the history and the culture. So that was very nice. We stopped at the Target on the way to the ship, and I did find a classified Snake Eyes in the V4 outfit with blue and stuff, and that was like, okay, well that's kind of cool. But the trip was very interesting. We're very tired. Um, we're still sort of wobbling a little bit on dry land because we've been on a boat for 7 days. So, but yeah,
I
it
get
was.
rid of those legs.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm fine now. It's just when you first get off, your body's compensating for something that doesn't exist anymore. But I'm fine. Stopped at a Wawa. Not impressed. It's a color palette swap sheets. So, there's that. The food was decent. But that was my trip. So pretty much anything we go over will be live reaction from Don because he has been on a boat for 8 days and has not been able to keep up with everything.
That's pretty great. Glad.
Hey, I wasn't on a boat, and I was like, I felt like I wasn't keeping up with everything. So.
If you ever have a chance if you're ever on vacation and you have a chance to take a duck boat ride, do it because you will not generally probably be disappointed.
Duck boat ride.
Unfortunately, I found out I actually get seasick. So
Really?
yeah, I went on a cruise whenever I was living down in Florida. Me and the girl I was dating, we went down there to just go take a short little day cruise. I was fine on the deck. It's when we decided to go down to the mess hall to eat, I started getting sick.
Sure, it wasn't the food?
No, wasn't the food. I literally went down there to go get food, and I was like feeling so sick I didn't even get food because I was just feeling not right. It's just weird because it's just like the equilibrium of your body doesn't understand that until you're like moving extremely slow. And I'm just like, that's weird because I can get on a boat like out in a lake and I'm fine. But I think it's just because the buoyancy of a smaller boat doesn't affect me as much as a large one does because it moves slower.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
Have you
strange.
tried Dramamine?
I did not try any before I got on there, so it might have helped. But at the time, I didn't even think anything of it because I was fine in air, in air travel. I love to travel in airplanes; it never bothered me. So I never thought a boat would bother me, but apparently it does.
Well, one thing
Yeah,
that
I
I've
just know that a lot of people swear on that stuff. I know my wife uses it, so.
Interesting.
One thing I've noticed is a lot of people that have trouble with seasickness, especially when you're on the deck of the boat, the surrounding area doesn't really give you a sense of the motion unless you look down, because you just look out over the horizon and you just see water, and the movement that the ship is doing you have no frame of reference. Your eyes just see empty open ocean.
Mhm.
You know you're moving, but it's marginal. When you get below decks, then you have corridors, and you can kind of, because your eyes have something to fixate on,
Mhm.
then you know you're in motion more there because it's an enclosed space. Your eyes can fixate on something, and then that's when your body realizes your equilibrium is off.
That's strange because I mean I don't even get claustrophobic, which is crazy. So it's one of those things. It's like how I get seasick. That's the one thing in the world that I have like. That's about the only thing that's ever like really kind of affected me. I'm like, this is nuts. Remember when I was younger, like getting on airplanes, I had to chew chewing gum and stuff like that to keep my ears popping. But as I got older, I understood how that worked. But now I'm just like, seasick, really? So I'm glad you actually had a really, really good time.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome hearing about little stories from, other parts of the world. Kind of cool. So I guess us other homebodies didn't really go out and do much like that. I know I didn't really go anywhere this past week other than doctor's appointments. Don't know what you guys have been up to.
I went to work.
Sideburn agrees because it's all he's doing is shaking his head. Besides keeping his duck.
I went to work, but from home.
Hey, at least you didn't have to commute.
I came and sat here for 5 days.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, for 7 days. I sit at a computer a lot.
So.
Or right back there.
I guess we can start off talking about since we're talking about water, why don't we talk about this whale of a time that just popped up that we've seen? This whole shockwave whale style thing. I know, Sideburn, you're all over this, aren't you? Just because it's a beast. correct?
No. So I mean, because in the general I posted there was like a second sheet because we got the whale wave like concept art sheet basically from the fan vote Shockwave. And I'm like, why in the world is Shockwave a whale? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It makes zero sense. Apparently, the most tangible reason for it is because there was recently a single panel in the Skybound comic where Shockwave and Soundwave are talking about like the beauty of Earth or something like that, and there's like a hologram of a whale.
Mm-hmm.
And that's everyone is linking it to that. There was a second page that they had shown that had concepts of, I think, what were the other three concepts? Shark, a manta ray, and a squid. The squid looks like the squids from the G1 the movie.
Mm-hmm.
The manta ray kind of looked like depth charge, and it's in the drawing. But to me, the when you see the squid that it could have been, I think that one looks it looks cool. I don't understand. And so the fan vote thing is so weird to me because it made sense up to the point where it was choose a character that already exists. Like all the other fan votes have been, like it created characters, right? It created Drift, it created Windblade, it created the Combiner that no one cares about anymore, but it created that character. So it's now we're getting, now it's like, well, we're just going to do a character that already exists and a different, in a different style, or just with a different vehicle mode.
I mean, it's not being a vehicle, being a beast, but I mean,
Well, yeah, a different.
is this the
ultimate
correct
mode.
one I got up on screen? Because this looks like
No,
animated
that's just
Shockwave.
fan art. That's just fan art. I put it in the
Oh, it's in the actual chat thing. Okay.
in the general, our general chat.
Let me swap
It's like
over to that.
several down from the whale concept that sort of won out at Hasbro, I guess.
Okay.
But no, it's I don't know. I don't
here
get
it
it.
is.
It does not it's not ringing. I'm my theory is that just in spite of this, like, in spite of this concept art looking unique in and of itself, my speculation is that it's just going to end up being a retool of the recent Skybite.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't. I mean, I would like to see the manta ray, because that gives us a chance at a depth charge. That would just be cool. I think that would be a better bet for them, so at least they can double dip on the mold, So what do you guys think of all this?
I mean, I think it was very confusing as to, like you were saying, Sideburn, why is it even being done? What's the impetus for this? Is this another use of a mold, and this is the pre-use of the mold that they're going to do? If so, what character could it be, since they just did Skybite? Unless they're doing something like the micro base killer whale that they made one of those two micro bases for, like they did the weaponizers, they gave the Micromasters like bigger bodies.
Uh-huh.
Instead of being just a Micromaster and a base, they made the bases the robot. So unless they're going to be doing that, and they saw a way to use this shockwave for it, I think when we see the actual toy, maybe it'll be like, okay, that's why they did it, because of X. It's just another one of those weird one-off things that, without context, doesn't really make a lot of sense.
I mean, is this going to be like a Pulse exclusive? Because I mean, that's the only thing I can think of that anybody's really going to be wanting this. Because I don't see.
Is it gonna be a Pulse, like if they do PulseCon, like an online PulseCon?
Yeah.
Is it going to be that? Is it going to be an exclusive for?
It seems like it would only make sense as an exclusive. I think it's going to be a Ross exclusive at some point. Is what it's going to be.
That or Ollie's. So what do you think, Magnus? You're awfully quiet and look a little puzzled.
I just think it's stupid. I think it's utterly ridiculous. There's so many things they could be doing, and they keep doing stuff like this.
I mean, I guess
Not a
they're
fan.
just trying to keep stuff fresh, but I mean,
I imagine there were people
thousands
who
of
have
other
been like,
Beast Wars stuff they could do though.
yeah. I imagine there's, I mean, because again, this was a fan vote, and the conspiracy theory is that the fan votes have never actually mattered who's voting for what, and it was just Hasbro had an idea and they made it seem like a fan vote, but in theory, it was a fan vote. But it just really doesn't. Just like I've seen some people that are excited for it, but like the overall, a lot of people have just been like, where does this go? Where do you even put this in your collection? It doesn't fit into my collection as a Beast Wars collector. I wouldn't put it into my on the shelf with my like Chug stuff.
This is kind of like that T-Spark Predaking. It's a great looking Predaking as far as the combined mode, but it doesn't fit any other aesthetic currently out there. So it's like early, like Avio Swerve. I mentioned this before. Avio Swerve, when it came out, was a very interesting, pretty good looking figure done as a dealership exclusive. It would fit with your Chug stuff though, so but I'm still saying
that was the difference. Yeah, I mean,
it does fit with your Chug. But if you look at, like, Vangelis did a review of Avio Swerve years and years ago, even though it's Chug style for the time, it still doesn't really fit in a Chug collection aesthetically. It doesn't quite fit in with an alternative collection as well. So it's like this Shockwave may be just a thing. Like I will have a shelf downstairs, really cool random things shelf. The only theme is there's no theme other than this is really cool crap that doesn't fit anywhere else. It'll be on its own shelf. That's what I'm thinking the Shockwave will be.
Kind of reminds me of back when they did that Movieverse thing, and I think it was Valvoline that did that little transforming can of oil that turned into a robot.
I was gonna literally bring up
like literally.
I was gonna say, but where does the Valvoline mod go?
I mean, I guess that goes on the shelf with your transforming toaster and your little
and Ursula from Animated.
Yeah. I mean,
see, I said if they should have made if they were going to commit to the bit, they should have made Shockwave a pistol shrimp, because he was supposed to be a sea creature. He used to be a gun,
Mm-hmm.
They could have done something like that, but the whale just came out of nowhere. I think maybe the whale would make sense for Soundwave, because of the whole echolocation stuff, but
yeah, they
for
have like his
Shockwave.
minions like attached to the bottom, like like those what Whatever the heck those fish are that attach to
What?
sharks and stuff.
Morays.
Yeah, those little morays. That would make sense.
Yeah.
But this is so left
It
field.
is what it is. Like the fan vote stuff has always been so kind of like the only one that's really, I guess, Drift stuck around for a while, but Drift kind of died after the movies. Like, you know, he made it into Age of Extinction, and then Drift hasn't really gone anywhere since. Windblade has had a lot of stay power, but
Just
you
another
know,
female
I don't.
Autobot. I mean, that's wild.
Yeah, I don't expect what Victorion or whatever the combiner was. I will never see that thing again. That fan vote character, but this is I mean, I feel like if they wanted to do a fan vote, they should have just had like a fan vote of like, here's some obscure things that maybe they wouldn't do if it didn't get voted for, right? Because you know, maybe a shockwave, a water-themed shockwave, to me that everyone wants right now and everyone would buy is Hearts of Steel shockwave.
That's what,
right?
When all this started, that would be the best way to get Hearts of Steel Shockwave as a leader class toy out, because we have Optimus, Megatron, Bumblebee, and Starscream, which is the 4 toys that's been done either as third party or now as Hasbro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The only other toy that's been done was Mastermind Creations Cyclops,
And then
as
they
that
repaint all the
Shockwave.
Seekers. But that's it.
Yeah, and I mean, if you repaint that Starscream with the Bumblebee as a cliff jumper, there's another set. If you repaint Skywarp with Shattered Glass Optimus,
That'd be
Or do
Nemesis
white-
a
Prime.
Galvatron
Megatron.
colored Megatron, you know. So there's other ways to get more life out of these Hearts of Steel sets, but you're going to wind up doing a lot of repetition. That Hearts of Steel Shockwave would need to be a leader class figure to have enough mass to even be close to being right.
What would you repurpose that as? So that's the question. Like, after you get done doing Hearts of Steel Shockwave, what else do you do with that? Like, that's the problem, I think, with that particular mold. Other than maybe
Yeah, I mean, the repaint potential is very limited, but we've seen what they can do on retooling some figures into another. Like, if you look at Metal Hulk, can you imagine that Metal Hulk having been a Cyclonus? Or even earlier, look at Combiner Wars Silverbolt and all the stuff we got from Combiner Wars legitimately stuff from Combiner Wars Silverbolt, you know.
Yeah.
Or Blur, or that Blur mold turning into DEFCON. So we've seen what they can do with partial retoolings.
retools, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know how you would do anything with the Shockwave, but whatever we get, I hope it's something nice and that everybody likes it. Otherwise, it'll be another one of those weird one-off things that maybe should have been a collaboration between like Transformers and SeaWorld or something like that, you know.
Transformers
Shamu
and
Wave.
SeaWorld.
Like Shamu Wave.
Yeah.
Shamu Wave.
Hey, you know what? What would make me a lot more interested is if it looks like an actual animal and not,
But this
not
is one of those
robot folded up
Yeah.
as a whale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're just going to have to enjoy the speculation, but let's not be too disappointed once we actually see what this thing winds up to be. So that way, we're not gearing ourselves up for something incredibly awesome. I mean, like, if they used the Captain Shark mold from Brave in Shockwave colors.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we could
Come
that would be incredible. But we're not going to get something that full of that much plastic. That fires 32 missiles. We're not going to get that,
No.
or 28 or whatever it was. So let's just keep our expectations low, and maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised.
That isn't that kind of the name of the game sometimes. Like, I don't know.
Well, people love to like get worked up and like, "Oh, I know what it's going to be. I know what it's going to be, and it's like it's nothing even close to that, and everybody's all hyped up because it seems like it's the most logical thing that it could be. No pun intended. And then it's just not even close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the only benefit that if they would have went with the squid design that they had, it would have served more of a purpose as adding that squid to your collection that just so happens to turn into, a shockwave.
Yeah, that's sort of like the third party purple potato shockwave that turned into Galvatron's ship from the movie.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's an incredibly interesting concept that you could get a good looking shockwave into that one particular ship, but the character and what they turn into has absolutely no basis in any kind of fiction other than this one tiny little corner where one tiny little reality where Shockwave was one of the Decepticons on the shuttle and he got turned into the ship. Other than that, it's a neat little thing, but it holds no weight.
It's very true. But, speaking of holding weight, we finally got our look at the new Soundwave that's coming out. I'll be honest with you, I think it looks cool. But I don't see the huge difference between this one and what had already been released.
This looks like it's more cartoon colored. Now again, this is what I was told while I was on the cruise, so I have not had a chance to visually compare it. If you compare it to the upcoming Studio Series Leader Class Soundwave, you'll see some color parallels between the two. I haven't had a chance to do this research. That's what I've seen mentioned.
Yeah.
So maybe since we're getting it in a mainline collection, they saw a chance to do it in the Masterpiece collection for people that wanted a more cartoon colored Soundwave.
Yeah,
Personally,
the image they released, it looks like the intention is Toon Colors on that old Soundwave, which, reissuing it, I feel like, I don't know, reissuing it seems fine because that Soundwave is not bad,
yeah, but at this point, it's very old.
It's old and it's been KO'd a bazillion times.
Yes, and you're only getting one cassette.
Yeah,
so
MPG. Sorry.
Are we talking about the Masterpiece Soundwave?
Yeah, the MPG sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No,
get
the original MP Soundwave. You were talking about molds that were reused. Is that what you're talking about? That one?
Yeah, this MPG Soundwave that was just announced is the old.
That is the
Soundwave.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I agree.
So
I think how many times can you repaint it?
Well, the thing is, though, they can repaint it from more toy color to cartoon color. They're only giving us Laserbeak, which means they can give us the set of cassettes that they made as a separate set for the original Masterpiece Soundwave in slightly more cartoon accurate colors in that set, or break the set apart, release them individually at higher prices with whatever the new price is for a figure of that size, and milk it for even more money, and then eventually do another Sound Blaster with a Rat Bat that might be more cartoon colored, and Soundwave will look more closer to whatever the Japanese Headmaster colors were with a cartoon Rat Bat to get more money from it. So there's a lot more recoloring potential with Soundwave than people might think, and depending on how much of a jerk they want to be with the cassettes. And what they might even do is do a brand new Slugfest and Overkill in that compatibility, and then add one to one set with another Buzzsaw or another Ravage, and then do another, or bring out the Dino cassette ones that we got 5 to 10 years ago, and then you get one Dino cassette in with another Ravage, or the other dyno cassette in with another buzzsaw, they can milk this thing for several more years on how much of a jerk they want to be on these cassettes.
It's very true. I know the 86 Soundwave was actually announced. I don't know how different that is compared to what had already been released, though.
It's very different from the.
How, like, because I haven't ever had either one of those in hand, so how different is this one compared to what they've already released?
Well, I haven't. Well, you go ahead, because I haven't had a chance to look at a lot of this.
Yeah, it definitely, it's because if you think on like the Earthrise, think about like the Earthrise Optimus Prime and the differences between SS86 Prime and it. I mean, it's not going to be that big of a jump compared to the last Soundwave that they released. That was I don't remember which of the sublines the last Soundwave released in.
Uh-huh.
But visually, it's much closer. You know, it's much more tune accurate, and it's got a lot more. I think it does a lot more to fill in certain areas with gaps and stuff like that. I saw some comparison images, and there's a bunch of differences between the two, and the cassettes are very different from each other. But
yeah, the Ravage is not that sucky Ravage. It can't, because see that was originally the Walmart War for Cybertron Soundwave that finally got freed up from Walmart's exclusivity, and then we got it as Kingdom or whatever it was when it came out in general release. But that Soundwave was never going to be anybody's movie Soundwave, just because of the colors and how bad the Ravage was and everything else. So this does look more like what a Studio Series Soundwave should look like, with a better looking Ravage. But again, we're going to see the same kind of, how are they going to do the other cassettes since Core Class is gone? How are they going to do these repaints? Another Sound Blaster, and again, it's just on a cheap, somewhat cheaper level, but they could be real jerks about this and stretch this out. It's so.
I mean, that's my question. Like, to anybody that already has this other Soundwave, what is the benefits you guys think of getting the new one over this one? Is it better looking? I mean,
it's more movie accurate.
Yeah, I think it has better articulation in a lot of ways. And the cassettes are, I think, unquestionably upgrades.
So what do you think, Brett?
I mean, let's just go back to what I said before. Just how many of these things do we need? Just I get that they want to maximize their profit on this, but I don't know. I would prefer to see some new molds and new characters, as opposed to this one's got the cell shade, this one has the animated, this one has the movie. I don't care.
Yeah.
Well, the problem though,
all these different ones.
I mean, I agree. The problem is with Hasbro hurting for money.
They're looking for the easy money. I get it.
Yeah, so they need to have as much of a profit margin on these things to stay in the game. So we're going to be seeing more of these repaints, redos, better imaginings.
No, I get
it.
But my point is I'm not going to get all warm and fuzzy when they puke another one out.
Oh no. I mean, I just saw a news report that they re-released one of the Kingdom Battle Chargers, which I did not know they were re-releasing the Kingdom Battle Chargers. That's going to be killer on the secondary market, because some of those Battle Chargers I've seen sold listings on eBay over $200 a piece.
Well, see, to me, that's not too bad, because for those people that didn't get them the first time around, here's the second
Exactly.
chance.
Yeah.
Once again, who's had a chance to buy a Soundwave? How many times?
But I'm saying they're going to look at these characters that people are saying they want, and they see the secondary market being so high, and they will find a way to work that back into a more of a general release, even if it's an exclusive. But that's still part of the thing is they need to either reissue older stuff that they know will sell because the current aftermarket is so high, or better versions of stuff like Soundwave because the G1 fans will buy it. I've done it. Y'all have probably done it. But I think a lot of us are getting to the point where I want to buy this Soundwave because I did not buy the other Soundwave because I have the Netflix Soundwave. And I knew that they would eventually do a Studio Series Soundwave. So I thought, I can wait. Soundwave is not important enough for me to suddenly sell my Siege, buy that one, sell the second one, then get this. He's not that important. I have a Soundwave on the shelf. I'm good.
It makes 100% sense. I mean, I can see probably people that are snatching these up are the guys that collect just Soundwave, because there are people out there. I know Brett's like, how many do we need? But there are people that literally will buy every iteration of that same character along with every cassette. So, I mean, it does happen.
I get it. I mean, there's some I do the same, but it just at what point is it too much?
Yeah.
We haven't hit that point yet because they're still making new Soundwaves for this market. Or
Well, that's right. We'll find out when we find them at Ollie's.
Yeah.
We find them at Ollie's for reduced prices because they don't sell. Then maybe they'll figure it out.
I mean, I think what we'll see is a bunch of people offloading their previous Soundwaves.
Sure, that's what happens with all of them. Look at Devastator.
Yeah.
Same thing happened.
Yep. Same thing with Superion, with the Combiner War Superion. People were doing that. Same thing with Minnesota.
All I'll say to that is I'm not getting rid of my Combiner Wars one because I think it has some charms of its own. I am going to probably be selling my second Combiner Wars Devastator. Not Combiner Wars, sorry. Studio Series Devastator. Because I'm just not that impressed with them, and I really don't want a second one. So I'm going to keep the first one in robot mode and then use my Combiner Wars one. Because if you look at the Combiner Wars individual robots, there's a lot of that DNA in the Studio Series ones that just finished. So
I get it, but as I said, the only thing I'm hoping for is some G2 colors.
Yes.
Which they've said they have no plans for right now, even though they know people want it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just give us an orange Devastator, period. Hasbro, you hear that? Everybody wants it. Just give it to us.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed to. So, we were talking about Masterpiece MPG Soundwave. Also, there was a RoboSend Soundwave tease. Apparently, they're doing the auto transforming Soundwave. It was like the week of the Soundwaves. But they also teased. They also teased
stand
MPG.
up. He's standing up.
Yeah, he's converting from boxing to man.
Yeah.
That seems like the most unimpressed, like the least impressive one is going to be Soundwave because he just turns into a box.
Yeah, and I'm sure.
Out of all of them out there, that'd be the only one I'd get.
Yeah, and I'm sure if Robeson is smart, what they'll do is they'll work in a point at which it stops transforming in lamppost mode.
Yeah,
Well,
what's up with that? Like, where is our lamppost?
If they were really smart, it would also be a Bluetooth speaker.
Oh God, device label.
Yeah, no, they
device
got the
label
technology
returns.
because they did it with him back in the day with device label. So hello.
But they did tease a MPG blaster.
Ooh.
Now that I have not seen. I'm looking for that now.
There was just outlines of it.
Okay.
Yeah, the outlines of it, and then the eject. It's either eject or it's one of the cassette bots that and then Ramhorn, or the outlines they tease.
Oh, this? Yeah. It looks like the silhouette from the box art.
Yeah.
And then Ramhorn, it could be eject or rewind.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
I mean, I'll be honest. I have one of the KFC sound blasters. It might be. Sound Blaster was rebuilt into
Twincast.
Twincast. Yeah, I may have the Twincast version, but depending on what the price is, I don't. Or unless this blaster does something that's really super unique, I'll probably just stick with the KFC one and be happy with what I got.
I think the Soundwave release is definitely to fund blaster.
I'm still like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm still a little salty that they never did because I had the core class. They gave us a core class Soundwave. They could have given us a core class blaster to go with it. That would have been perfect. Like, come on.
Now they killed core class off entirely, so it'll never happen.
Yeah. You know, it's.
I guess the profit margin just isn't high enough for them for tiny robots. They just want big ones anymore.
Yeah, because I mean, when pretty much the entire for core class, RC, Ironhide, and Freezer went to Ollie's, and you can get them at Ollie's for $7.
Yeah. I honestly think they kind of dropped the ball on that because they could have easily done so many figures with that core class because some people were really enjoying them. Just they weren't giving us enough of them. And think about this though. What if they took core class and they made those, like the Donobot combiner? What if they give us like a Defensor in that scale? Or aerial bots in that scale? People would have bought those. I don't know anybody who wouldn't. Look at was it Dr. Wu, and I can't remember who else it is that's making the little tiny versions, and those things are selling like hotcakes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're really dropping the ball on letting that scale slide. That's just my opinion. But yeah, let's. Did you guys hear there was a masterpiece? Was this Rattrap? When was this thing supposed to come out? Like, how long ago?
Years.
It teased Rattrap before the pandemic.
Yeah.
They
so we're
teased
almost
Rattrap.
going to be on 6 years of this elusive rat. Is it living in the walls somewhere in Hasbro's old storage shed or something? Like, what the?
Well, here's the thing. No matter how long it's taken for us to get this this is what the last member of season 1. Pretty other than an Air Razor.
It's the of the Maximals, yeah.
Yeah, the Maximals, yeah. It took them 9 years for Fans Toys Blitzwing and 10 years for Fans Toys Dead End. So it could be worse. It could be worse of us waiting. But I will say, from what I have seen of this Rattrap, I love the color gold. They got the color gold. That goldish bronze is such a miss on so many figures. Because it's all. I'm going to bring it back to. It has the Collectors Club, Serpent OR, who was supposed to be using that Rat Bat mold, and the prototype was this similar kind of bronzy gold, but what we got was the butterscotch yellow, which completely ruined the look of the figure if you're lucky enough to get one before they sold out. So I think this Rattrap looks great. I've been told there's a transformation video. I saw a thumbnail for it. I didn't have time to watch it on the ship.
I posted Jason, I posted I posted a link to like a Reddit post that has actually comparisons of MP Rattrap with the original Rattrap, the Kingdom Rattrap, and the Generations Rattrap.
You
want to
said-
take a look at that. But
Oh, okay, that's it. There it is.
yeah, it's man, we've been waiting for this because I feel like they teased Rattrap before they even announced Rhinox.
Oh,
And it was
well, hang
like
on.
so weird for us to wait for so long.
Well, let me check something real quick at Hasbro Pulse because I placed the order for the Rat Trap right when it came out or not long afterwards, just because Masterpiece was such a state of flux at that point. And I ordered this January of 2025. So I don't know how long we were waiting for this thing to actually come up, but it's only been like 8 months, 9 months or so since the orders went up domestically.
Yeah, and they went up. Yeah, mine was in January as well, but I know they.
So-
I feel like it sort of came out of. I think last year is when we first saw the gray prototypes. And it just sort of came out of nowhere. It was like, oh yeah, here's MP Rat Trap, and it was like, oh, they're still doing MP MP Beast Wars. Okay.
That's what I remember the most is like we may get Rat Trap sometime eventually. And yeah, it was just out of nowhere we finally get him available. I mean, I think he looks great. But I have to think this is going to be probably one of the last gasps for Beast Wars Masterpiece for a while, unless they do something completely unexpected like Transmetal Megatron, Transmetal Optimus, a Tarantulas.
I think. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's so hard to gauge because I don't really know which of the Predacons were like big in Japan. I would think that the next logical option for the U.S. based audience would be a Waspinator, you know, or a Tarantulas. But
yeah, I think Tarantulas and Waspinator on the Predacon side would be pretty significant sales in the U.S. market. But with Japan not liking villain characters, or at least that's the general thought process, or at least it was. So I don't know if they would do that, or if they would do Transmetal Optimus first. What I would like to see them do is do a Pterosaur. Not because I have a big love of Pterosaur was a second-rate Starscream that, and he wound up dying in the first. Sorry, Pterosaur had a lot of potential.
that was an absolute crime that they killed him off.
Yeah, but I would like to see them do a Pterosaur, mainly so because we can get a Fractal. Now we have a Rat Trap. We can get a Pack Rat. Because it's a crime to me that we have not gotten a Pterosaur Rat Trap 2-pack as Fractal and Pack Rat. So I would buy.
I don't know how how we don't have a Kingdom.
Yeah, well, that's
Fractal Pack Rat.
Like Power of the Primes, Darkwind, and Dreadwing. Why did we not get a Hydra and Buster from that set? Not a year after those molds were out and still brand new and viable. I do not understand that. But yeah, I would like a Pterosaur mainly for hopefully a long-term Fractal. But I think Tarantulas would be the next one. But I'm glad we're getting Rat Trap. It completes my season 1 Maximals other than Air Razor. And I'll be honest, if one of the group does not get made between, say, Tigertron and Air Razor, I'm a lot more Tigertron fan than I am Air Razor. So I want an Air Razor, but if I don't get one for a while, and I mean a while, I'll be okay.
I mean, one of the things I see, because I look up like Kabuya kits all the time, and I always see like Japanese, like the some of the Beast Wars stuff, it's always Beast Wars Neo or Beast Wars 2. I always see the baboon. Like, do you think there may be potential for that to be a masterpiece for Japan?
The thing is, the Beast War Neo and the Beast War, other than some, like Big Convoy, we're getting a Big Convoy in the U.S. line.
Yeah.
There are certain characters that were super popular in Japan, but overall, by the time Beast Wars was wrapping up, that's why you were finding these toys dirt cheap at BotCon. And I don't just mean the Sonicon versions. I mean the Japanese versions were $25 a piece. And just imagine like a Masterpiece Dead End, which was the snail-like thing.
Mm-hmm.
The original toy was horrible to transform. Break was terrible. Everything just went flying. Flippers and feet and beaks. It just was a nightmare. Dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria.
It
Chaos.
took shell former to the extreme, especially with Dead
Exactly.
End. Literal
Yeah,
shell
so-
former.
Yeah. So I don't really see them diving as much as I would hate it for the Beast Wars fans. Sorry. I really don't think we'll ever see Neo and 2 outside of very select characters like this new Lio Convoy that was a retool of the other Lio Convoy, which admittedly does look better,
Mm-hmm.
but not for $60 imported. Well, $60 plus tariffs. So I don't know. I want this Rat Trap. I want it to be good. I don't want there to be a lot of issues. It looks like it's a lot of moving parts in a very small space. Sorry, boat lag. So I think that once we get Rat Trap at hand, a lot of people will be like, okay, Optimus, Rhinox, Cheetor, Rat Trap, and then off to the side you got your Tigatron. So I think people that are Maximal fans like myself are good for right now, and I think
To me,
we'll see that later.
Yeah, to me, the main crew is obviously Optimus, Rhinox, Cheetor, Rat Trap, and Dinopod. And Tigatron had a lot more screen time than Air Razor ever did.
Yeah.
So he makes sense to be in there. If we don't get any other Maximal, if we never get Air Razor, I mean, I'll be a little sad. But I feel like they've tackled what I consider the main Maximals. And then because in a lot of ways, Black Arachnia ends up taking over this Air Razor spot. And you have to have Megatron because it's Megatron. But yeah, after that, like I do think that I'll be pleasantly surprised if and when they ever announce another Beast Wars masterpiece. But I don't foresee that coming, especially since now Masterpiece movies coming back. There's the Masterpiece movie Next line, which is starting off. MPN 1 is a new Sideswipe from the looks of it.
Yeah.
So I feel like we've probably hit the end of the Masterpiece Beast Wars, but hopefully not. But I won't hold my breath for announcement this year or next year at the very least.
So what do you think?
As much as I would love for them to figure out Air Razor, those wings, though. I don't know how they'll do those wings.
So what's your opinion on this whole situation with this Rat Trap?
Who?
You?
Oh, I didn't hear you say my name.
Oh, that's it.
It's cut out. Didn't hear that.
Oh.
I've been looking forward to it since they first announced it. I think it looks amazing. I think it's the first time in beast mode that he looks 110% solid from all angles.
It doesn't look like a trash rat.
It looks good. All of it looks good. I mean, once again, this is what they can do and what they should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's when they need to do more. And yeah, it'd be nice to get some repaints out of that and all that. That's fine. I personally would like for them to start building up the Predacon side. I don't think it's going to happen. I do believe that if they were going to do one more, I think even in Japan, I believe Waspinator was fairly popular, more so for the comic side of it. And I think he would have a better shot of getting a figure made than I would love to see Scorponok. That would be my favorite, but I don't see that happening. I think Waspinator might have a shot.
I mean, to be
More
honest,
yeah.
I would love to see a masterpiece Waspinator that you just press like a button on his back and he like explodes. Like, who
Yeah,
wouldn't want
no.
that?
I don't.
Well,
I don't,
given
because-
some of the masterpiece QA issues, that may be a bug, not a feature.
Yeah, I was going to say they're just not going to they're not going to care about QA for him. Yeah.
I'm just looking at the fact that if they start putting in features like that, it usually means at the detriment to the design and the look.
Hmm.
And I would rather have just a solid looking robot and beast mode without the gimmick. But that's just me.
Or maybe make it so that way he does have ability to pop limbs off
You
just
could
to.
pop them off, it's fine.
Yeah.
But anytime you start adding gimmicks, just look in the past of all the time they've added gimmicks, and then they have this bulky garbage, stupid stuff. But the only thing they've gotten really good at lately is like light up eyes and stuff, because with the electronics and batteries being so small now, they can stick them anywhere. Other than that, no.
I mean, very true. Considering, Blockies has done some really interesting stuff. This whole new wave. Have you guys even seen any of this stuff from the new wave? Because it's pretty cool.
Oh, it's amazing. I picked up wave 1, 2, and 3, and got them all 3 sets, sealed boxes. Oh, and I didn't think I'd be a fan. I only wanted them because I wanted to do the Devastator, and they're great. I've got some of them here. I mean, they've seen them before. Just the little bitty guys. Got
Model
Big
Kit
Ben,
Action Masters.
I mean, here you go. Here's a nice little action pose, and they work just fine. And then they have, chase figures and stuff like that, which each box is guaranteed a chase. Whether you get, for lack of better terms, there's a chase and then there's like a super chase. And it's usually one Autobot and one Decepticon. So like in my box 2, I got the premium format Starscream, which means he's like more metallic color.
Super shiny.
Super shiny. And then like the very first one, it was funny because literally the first box I opened was wave 1. First box I opened, and it was the metallic
Metallic Prime.
Yeah. Which was cool. And then after the third box, which was actually the funniest, I got the premium, the super, you could see him, Grimlock.
Nice.
With the sword, the backpack wings, which is actually Swoop. and all that. And I mean, they're just really neat.
That is pretty
But the reason that go ahead.
Well, I was about to say, because you were talking about like the light up gimmick, because that Blockies has got that down pretty good with like the chest light or the eye light type of situation, and I think it'd be a good idea if they actually implemented that more into it. And
Right, that's not in their Defender line. That's in their mid-class line.
right,
These are the Defender lines. Which the one neat thing is when you buy the little kit,
Mhm.
and you get all the 6 vehicle forms, you can make Devastator.
The tiniest Devastator ever.
Yeah, but look at this. This is the thing I like about it. Look at the size.
It's perfect.
That's how big you should be. That's how big you should be.
Well, the fact that they're
Um,
doing, there's going to be a Bruticus pretty soon with that set too.
Well, I just found out about that because the Series 4 has Brawl in it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look right at it, it's got a peg hole, which is the same as these guys. The leg pieces, they have a little peg up in here for the
So
peg to
the,
fit in. So
the
I'm assuming
way
they're going to do the thing.
the way I'm looking at these, to me, these are the Action Masters we didn't get from the 80s. That's kind of how I
Somewhat,
see
yeah.
these. Because I loved Action Masters from the 80s. I'm not ragging on them. Love them still. But this is what Action Masters probably should have been, I think.
And here's some things I didn't understand is if you look at, I don't know if it'll show it. They miss transforming. There's no other way to do it. I have to do it. But if you look at the instructions and do it exactly as it says, the couple things I noticed is like, I don't know if you could see it, but Hook's crane,
Mm-hmm.
just right here. It's forward, but you can swing it around and put it the way it's supposed to. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing that bugged me was Scavenger. His crane is pointed up, but all you have to do is disassemble it, put it back together, and you can do it the right way. So to me, this is the right way, but this isn't how it's said to transforming.
That's
So I thought it was
closer
kind
to
of
what
weird.
the toy would be, like the original toy. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. But I mean, it's just weird that they did that. But I mean, the only thing I really didn't care for, and it's just because of the weight, is these hip joints here. As you can tell, they're a little bit, but I mean, he stands just fine. He poses just fine. The price point on them, you can't beat them. And to me, I love them just because I like building them. So that's neat. And I like the scale, like I said. So I dig them. I like them. And I didn't think I was going to be a big fan. But you get into the trying to get the little chase figures. And then each box comes with a little coin. So you have to collect
Did you
all
end
the
up getting the
coins.
Unicron head?
I got coins.
No, not the
There's-
coins.
No,
There's,
the,
there's
no, the
actually
Unicron head.
there's an actual
There's a
Unicron.
Unicron head and an arc. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
Part of
I'm
that.
not
Part
sure.
of that. Yeah. Part of that last release for
The last
that
release is number 4.
right, but there's a Unicron head in there to build.
Mm-hmm. It's
Is it in number 3 or 4?
I don't know.
I think
just
it's in
know
4.
exists.
Okay, I haven't gotten wave 4 yet. This
Okay.
is just the
Okay.
first 3. But I mean, there's so many subsets and everything of it. I just now saw wave 4 actually today, and I saw the figures and I was like, oh, they're all right. But then I saw Brawl, or I'm not Brawl, yeah, Brawl, and I'm like, oh my, they're gonna do one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also found out that they're gonna do something with the Dinobots too. So they're it's a neat line, and it's not going to break the bank. If, in my opinion, if you like that hunt, then go to the store and buy them individually, buy them back blind packs, and see if you can't get what you want. If you don't like that, each case has one of every figure. And the only time that a figure is emitted is if you get a chase figure. So, like in the first one, the special ones were the metallic Megatron and Prime, and then there was the Super, which is like the weaponized Megatron and Prime. So you may not get a base Megatron or a base Prime, but you will get one of those two in the other two forms, if that makes any sense.
That's a pretty good deal, though.
All the other ones you get a full set. And I mean, I don't know what the retail is on the sets, but there's 12 in a set, and I want to say they're like $3. You know,
I think
maybe
they're anywhere
$5.
between $3 to $5 a piece that I've
Yeah,
seen.
I mean, and they're neat.
Yeah.
They're definitely better than those Creos.
Yeah,
That was horrible.
yeah. Creo was. I mean, I have a few Creos here, even on my desk.
Hey, I liked the
like
Creo micro change line, but
I've got like
they definitely
6
were
boxes
targeting
that's
them.
still sitting in the basement, sealed, because I got them when they were reduced to like $5.
Mm-hmm.
They are what they are.
Yeah, they were trying to ride the Lego minifigure craze.
Mhm.
I mean, from what
But
I've
no,
gathered, with
I'm a big fan of these blockies. I think they're pretty neat. I didn't think I was going to be.
yeah. I mean, from what I've gathered with the Creo stuff, the Transformer stuff didn't do as well as the G.I. Joe stuff did. And I've even
It was
looked on
only
the
certain
aftermarket,
sets of GI Joe.
and the G.I. Joe stuff is still going up there in price. So
Some of them are, but it was like like your Terradrome and all that. Honestly, if Creo had done an arc, I think it would be pretty good. It would still be worth a lot of money.
Mhm.
But what did they do? They did the same thing that you can go and get your Prime, you can get your Bumblebee, and the renditions they made were not that good.
when you have to take the entire toy part
Oh,
to
yeah,
reform it to transform it, isn't really
The
good.
actual, yeah, the full sets were terrible. I don't know what was, because Hasbro did that. Build to Rule was their first attempt at blocks.
I remember the Built to Rule for the GI Joe.
There was Built to Rule. It was not Armada. I think Armada and Energon Built to Rule.
Yeah, but those were only for the Cincinnati area.
Yeah, the Energon was basically a test market, and it.
Yeah, and I was able to get some of those. I'm in the area, and they
But Armada was nationwide, and they were terrible.
all of it was.
Yeah,
wasn't good.
So, like, Creo was a better attempt, but it was still a terrible attempt.
Yeah,
especially when you see like the Lego Transformers, the expert line, they are what Creo should have been.
Mhm.
There's only, and I only think of this because I thought of as we're going down the line, and for blockies, and I think for I can't remember the line that's bigger than the Defender line. They're like 4 inches.
I think it's more like their masterpiece size type of stuff.
Well, in any case, the only thing these are missing that I'd actually pay up more is a base with their name, because like the bigger ones have that.
Because I happen to have one that I've built, and he has a base.
Yeah, those have the bases. These don't, and I would like the base.
And I'll be honest with you, when I dipped, a friend of mine gave me one of these. I never bought them. I thought they were cool, but my thing is I'm very limited on space, so I was like, if I do this, I gotta purge other stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to. And then my buddy was like, oh, here, try one. So I did. I love these. These are amazing. Even those small ones, because I've actually messed with the small ones at like conventions and such. But I mean, I'll be honest with you. I would like to see them bounce out of just G1 and maybe even do Beast Wars with these, Could you imagine Beast Wars figures like these? Because the
Well,
ball joints, the articulation is insane.
Oh yeah, I mean they're superposable.
That would be perfect for Beast Wars. I
You know, I
personally
mean,
think.
and the other thing is I mean they're
Durable.
yeah, I mean they're solid. They're
Yeah, Michael one could fall off the shelf. You wouldn't have to worry about it breaking. Be like, oh, he just fell.
Yeah.
Check it out.
they
Look, his ball joints are still fine. Look, he's still pretty stiff. And the thing
Yeah,
is, they're not
right.
just ball joints. It's the way these things are put together. It's crazy. Like this really is some next level engineering, I think, and this is really
Well, and then
where they should go with this stuff.
the funny thing is for the Defender sets, once you've built like 2 or 3 of them, you can build any of them like in your sleep because they're pretty much identical how they're built, except for some of the accessories and parts and stuff like that. They're pretty much they're all the same. So, you know, if you want something that's more complex, well, okay, yeah, then go buy yourself, you know, a Lego set and spend, an hour putting these together. Or get one of those and it takes like, 5 minutes.
Mhm. I personally think, Blockies is knocking it out of the park with a lot of this stuff, and I think it's a
they're
good
doing
building line, really.
they're picking up so many because there's apparently going to be a Blockies Godzilla line. There's going to be
They're picking up more lines.
I know
They're
they have
getting
Ultraman.
so
They've
much
got
stuff.
Sesame Street.
Well, and I think they're getting bigger model kits and stuff like that too, and they're like expanding to like the ball joint doll. Like, I feel like Blockies is trying to really expand it as a like full-on toy company, just like hit all the markets.
Which I don't have a problem with. I think it'd be amazing to see some of the figures we've always wanted in this style built like this. I mean, have you guys actually had your hands on them other than me and Brett?
I've got a smoke screen that I bought from Rick Alvarez, already pre-assembled and everything, and that was at the time about the only one I wanted at Baltimore TFCon. I have the movie RC that I got from Walmart, but I have not built that figure yet. And everything else I have in this vein is the YOLO Park stuff, which is a completely different sort of thing. But I love my smoke screen, but having not built it, having already bought it pre-built, because that's the only one he had, and I didn't want to take a chance on a blind box. Because most of the other blind boxes there were not open, and you did not know what you were getting.
Mm.
And they're also selling for like $10 a piece, generally, and that was $15.
Yeah, which size is that? Is that what?
I think
There's
it's
a
the
name.
size that I set up there. That's
I can't.
There's a name for it. Yeah,
their naming conventions completely confuse me. I did get. I don't have it in here. I don't believe, but I got here. Let me show you here. I did get this on clearance. Now I saw this at several Walmarts. Some were marked down, some wasn't. This is the Classic Class Optimus, which I believe is supposed to be the Return of the Beast Optimus, I think.
I think those are about 7 inches.
Yeah.
8.
Uh,
They're bigger.
That's the one that actually
Yeah,
has a
it's-
light up chest, I believe, and light up eyes.
Because
Yeah,
it looks like you
that's
have
their premium. That's their premium one.
That's the premium.
Okay,
one.
Gal- Galaxy
this
is the small ones, right?
Yeah.
And then there's Shining. No, that's just the Galaxy ones. There's
Yeah, the Galaxy has
Galaxy.
different
There's
ones you can find.
there's
This was on-
Action.
This was on clearance for $5 at my local Walmart.
And then there's Classic.
Maybe the classic line is the one that's. I don't know. If you look at price points, you can tell the price points because most of them,
Yeah.
the
There's a
Defenders are right
Shining
around
version that
$5.
are like
I think the others are like
15
10 to
bucks.
12. And I think the one that Don you had was either 15 or 20.
Yeah, I think it's called Shining. I think
Well,
the
There's
point
chase
between
figures called Shining also.
well, there's like a whole lot because these look like these are boxes of 6 I'm seeing,
Okay, then
and it looks like they
they're
have
bigger
light up
ones.
eyes and chest.
Yeah, that's the bigger set. I can't remember the name
Yeah.
of it. But
Yeah,
Defender comes in a box as
the
well.
Shining version.
Yeah, and like the Defenders don't come with like extra hands, and have obviously no bases, which that's the only thing I'd rather pay extra for. But then the midline has like the interchangeable hands. They have the bases, and of
Yeah.
course they're bigger.
Yeah, I remember seeing these like Rise of the Beast is first ever saw blocky, and I had at one time I had pre-ordered the Optimal Optimus or the Optimus Primal, and then I just eventually I had no idea what this kind of this I had no idea what it was at the time, and I eventually just canceled them because I decided not to collect like non-transforming movie
Yeah.
stuff.
Like I
So,
said, the only reason I picked them up is because I wanted the Devastator,
yeah,
and I think with them doing Bruticus, and I'm sure they're going to do it the same way, where it's going to be scattered between 3 series, which
Yeah.
means that you have to buy 3 series. And I'll wind up doing that too, just especially with Bruticus. That's my favorite. So
I mean, to be honest, I think the combiners is probably one of the best ideas that they've added to it in order to keep it going. But I've heard so many people just praising these things because they love the idea that they're small. There's some people sat down at conventions and literally all of them bought like blind boxes, went and opened them up. They all got duplicates. They just sat there and trade and just build, and it was fun.
Right.
And
Right.
I mean, it's kind of part of it. Like it kind of creates almost like its own little community, and I think it's really neat. And I've seen some people actually do customs with these too. And
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
Oh yeah,
they're
and there's
dirt cheap.
contests
So you can
too.
buy tons of them and make whatever the heck you want.
The one thing I thought was funny though is even the first 3 waves that I got, is all the shattered glass stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, really?
Shattered Glass is big in my understanding in Japan and China, I think. Like, I mean, if you think about it, like, why did you ever get Shattered Glass Optimus stuff and Masterpiece line and stuff like that, right? And then I don't know, like, anyone's heard about the Gridman anime? Like, almost every character in the Gridman anime was based off of a Shattered Glass Transformer character, like their color palette and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like that clicked internationally for whatever reason.
Color
Well, the
schemes
one thing-
sell things, man.
The one thing I thought was funny, and it kind of ticked me off, because in wave 2 I got the Starscream, the metallic version, however you want to call it. But one of the chase figures was actually the Bumblebee in Shattered Glass, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me! So, like, if you were a Shattered Glass, that you wanted all of them. Now you have to find a chase figure to get it.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. I know there's another company that Yellow Park is trying to sort of get in on the action with these because they announced their own sort of blind box thing,
Mhm.
and then it seemed like they made 2, at least in the Chinese market, they made 2 figures that people are going to want to have, which I think is Ronimus and Grimlock chase figures. It's like that's dirty. You shouldn't do that.
No. I
Yeah, with all the
understand.
chase figures on these, except for that Shattered Glass one, I was like, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. You like the Starscream I got. Okay, you get one that's either looks like all the others or has that shiny metallic. Okay, you still got the character. But Shattered Glass Bumblebee is a separate character, and you can't get him except as a chase.
Yeah.
Now, that's not to say in wave 5 or wave 6 they don't give you another one that looks different, which they probably will. But I kind of was like, that's a little shady. But other than that, I thought it was pretty neat. Overall, I thought it was really neat.
Yeah, I really think like when it comes to these building systems, it's pretty cool. I'm hoping they continue with it. I think I heard that they're trying to dip into the movieverse stuff because, I mean, face it, the movieverse thing is going to be hot right now because Michael Bay's coming
I mean, that's
back.
kind of where they started,
So-
right? Because the first time I'd ever, like I said, the first time I ever was when they started releasing stuff for Rise of the Beasts, and then they did Transformers One stuff, and then they
Mhm.
branched out into G1 stuff. I mean, I would be interested if they did like Beast Wars stuff. I definitely would be interested in it. Um, I'm more interested in Blocky for things like um, they have they have like the Evangelion, the Evas from Evangelion
Mhm.
that they're releasing that are pretty fairly priced model kits. And so I might pick up a couple of those. Like I said, they're doing Godzilla. I'll see what they do with Godzilla. Like if especially if they did I mean some nice like bigger scale Godzilla model kits, but if they did like the little deformed Godzilla stuff, I'd be all
all the chibi
100%.
stuff, like this little cutesy.
Yeah, like if they did it at that galaxy scale,
Yeah.
like they did with Transformers, I'd be all over that. Like that seems like a lot of fun.
Well,
They just haven't had the right things to
that's
pull
one of
me
their
in
best
yet.
selling right now. So is that scale? It seems to be selling the best, and I'm sure it's because of the price point. So I
And
can
they've
see them
just not had
doing another
anything
one.
to pull me into it yet. You know, as a Beast Wars guy, but that can change easily.
Yeah. I mean, what would you think, Don? What would you like to see from Blockies?
I'll be honest, I am so really not into any of this kind of stuff. I got the yellow park ones because they're very simple to do.
Mhm.
And I've been told if I can do one, I can do the other. But I really don't want another line to collect. So I just want them to be able to be got if there's a figure that I want. They're doing Marvel Legends, I believe, now, so I would like to be able to cherry pick the characters that I want without having to do the blind boxes and buy a case and sell the duplicates, or I'll probably have to go to eBay and buy the ones that are already assembled or the ones that are known. So I really don't really have a dog in this fight, other than if there's something I want, hopefully I can find it without having to hunt through cases and look like the Lego blind bags and look for codes and find the code and look on the code list on someone's website. That is way more effort than I want to put into something like that.
Yeah, I'm with you a little bit there too. Like the blind box stuff isn't super for me. And so like if I was going to be into it, like if they did a complete Beast Wars, like if they did Beast Wars stuff, I would. If it was just intermixed with the other stuff, like let's say there was one Beast Wars character with a bunch of G1 characters, I'm really not going to want to buy
Case.
an entire case to get the one figure, you know.
No, but see, that's kind of why I like this. Is
Yep.
like, it was 3 sets to make sure that I got all the pieces for Devastator, and then in addition to that, I got 3 chase figures. And with the price point, if I wanted to sell the extras, when it's all said and done, I probably will only have a couple bucks a piece in each of these that I'm going to keep. So it's not that bad. It's not like you're buying, $25, $30 a piece toys, buying a case of 12 to get the 2 or 3 that you want. I mean, they're like $3 or $4.
Mhm.
So it's not that bad. That's why I would go with buying the cases. But yeah, like this next round I just saw, number 4, there's literally one figure I want. So for me, I would just buy the figure. So
See,
That's nice that they put the assortments out ahead of time. If they really wanted to be sneaky, they'd give you a nice white box and say, "Guess what's in there." Then you don't know.
that's
So,
kind of what Kabaya used to do. Their overcase used to be just white. You wouldn't know
it was,
what
but if you
figures
pulled
that
them
were in
out,
there until you popped it
if you
open.
pulled them out, they had numbers in the circle, the whole circle, so you could figure it out.
Right.
So
Yeah.
there was a way to figure it out.
But
With these, all these boxes look the same. There's no, as far as I can tell, there's no way of telling what's in them.
I'll be honest with you, if they, because I love what Blockies is doing. I'm with Sideburn on the Godzilla thing. I think it'd be great. I would love to see Voltron. I want to see some
Voltron would
Road
be-
Beasts. Road Beasts done in that blocky style would be amazing. 'Cause
Problem
we
is
don't
that
have
is there
Road Beast
enough?
figures at all.
Is there enough to run more than like a series of 12?
Well, I mean, people do. Like, look at what Super 7 did with whenever they released their Voltrons. They did 4 or 5 different renditions of it for just one entire like case pack. That was just different colors of that Voltron, and people loved it. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
see, for me, if I was going to do a Voltron, I would have Vehicle Voltron. What was his name? Goliath Voltron
the
and
Gladiator, yeah,
Gladiator. Thank you, and
Lion
the
Force.
Lion Voltron, and that way you could get more than one series out of it to complete the ones you wanted.
I
And
would.
then, of course, you throw in the chase and then the bad guys and all that, and you could get 2 series out of that 24 figures, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, easily. Because the bad guys themselves, there's some really, really interesting monster creatures that are from Voltron that would actually make really cool models for this. So
Mhm.
I think it'd be an easy way to get people into that. Because I mean, and then if you really wanted to kind of extend it, you can go and do the Netflix Voltron with some of the stuff they did too. Because that was actually a really popular series as well. So yeah, I can see them kind of branching off and maybe doing that. You see, maybe
Just
Probably really
depends on what
depend
license
on-
they can get.
Yeah, and it probably depends on how much interest that had in the Chinese market. I assume, I mean, they're right in it. You know, Japan's right there. They usually have a lot of crossover, but it's those things are sometimes hard to gauge.
I mean, them doing Evangelion, that's like kind of,
Evangelion's
almost
massive.
borderline. Like,
you
you
know,
got Voltron, and you've got,
Uh-huh.
Big O would be cool. Like, I don't know if you guys ever watched that anime, but it was really cool.
if they did a whole line like of, just like classic mecha, that would be really cool. But
I mean, they could probably even like do maybe. I mean, how would you guys feel about like a Robotech line like these?
Oh, I would love it.
I think it'd be amazing to see Valkyries like that.
I mean, and how many could you do? I mean, can you think of?
how many colors
Wow.
exist on the color?
That,
If you go through, if you just look at, because I collected a lot of the 148 scale
Mhm.
Macross, and every time I turned around, there was a different color. You know, and not to mention that you had your A, your S, and I mean your different which basically is just the heads
Mhm.
or the accessories, but then you had the colors, different colors too.
Yep.
So you could go nuts with that.
Well, see, the thing is, I'm just sitting there trying to think of like what toy lines in the past had kits, and it's like even Brave from the '90s had kits. They had Kabaya did a few of those, and
Yes.
I think those sold pretty well too. They're very hard to find now, and when I find them on eBay, they're not cheap. Um, I mean, I would think it'd be cool to see a Brave X Kaiser like that. You know, I think it'd be really interesting, especially with some of the designs. Would actually, I think, work really, really well with the articulation they have built into these, and it would piggyback off the Transformer stuff because a lot of us Transformer guys are kind of into that Brave series stuff as well. So I think it would kind of go a twofold thing. You know, I mean, I know kits really aren't like Don's thing, but I mean, Don, would you buy those if somebody built those? Said, "Here, have a bunch of Brave figures that already pre-built."
Yeah, but I mean, I understand that would usually involve a fee, which might well put them. That's why I don't ever have anybody customize any of my figures, even though I have absolutely no painting or skills at all, because I do not want to put that much money into something, even if it's affordable, which makes it unaffordable. So I'm just going to see whatever they come out with. If it's something that I think it's worth the time and effort, I'll try to pick it up. If not, I'm sure I have that character represented in some other fashion.
Mm.
So I'm good. But
So-
if you like it, you win.
So you didn't get into like any of the Lego ones either that come out, like even the Soundwave, with the voice chip in it.
Well, I do have Optimus and Bumblebee, but I got Optimus for like $119 thanks to Dononomics after he came out, and I got the Bumblebee for like $58. So I had opportunities to get them brand new in the box at a very good price. I am thinking about selling them at the toy show I'll be setting up at in October, at the end of October. Because I don't know if I'm ever going to get. I want to build them and have them on the shelf. I'm also looking at, I have enough Optimus and Bumblebees. Maybe not that exact format, but I think if I can sell the pair and make a small profit and not have to worry about building them and put that money towards something else, I'd be happier.
Completely understandable. I didn't know if maybe you dipped into the Soundwave or not, because the Soundwave
Not
actually has
not
a voice
not
chip
at that
in it.
not at that price.
That's where I'm sitting. I like the
not at that-
Soundwave, but not at that price.
Not at that price, and I have enough sound waves. He's not that important to me to have every version of the character.
Gotcha. Well, I think that's, I think we're going to probably sign off here pretty soon, because I think we're kind of hit a lot of the news that's already come out. We have some of this stuff I know we probably have 5 or 6 other things we could probably talk about next week. Because, every week
There
there's
was a
something
lot
new.
of stuff. Like,
And-
I mean, I think there was the reveals of, or there was a big dump of pictures for the or the big convoy. There was like so much stuff.
Yeah, it's
It
kind
was
of
it was a wild 2 weeks.
It's been a crazy 2 weeks, so we'll probably end up picking up some more of this stuff next week, and obviously there'll probably be more stuff because the ball doesn't stop rolling until someone finally puts the brakes on it. But let's not have any brakes. Let's just keep going with it so we can constantly talk about this stuff, right?
Keep going.
But anyway, I'm gonna have everybody do their little sign-offs, and then we're going to pop out of here. Go ahead, Don.
I can be found here every Sunday evening at 7:30 at Plasticon Studios. I can be found on Radio Free Cybertron. tfradio.net/Discord is our Discord server. We begin our pre-show for Patreons at 8 o'clock. Regular show begins at 8:30 on YouTube, Spotify, and all your favorite platforms where giant robots are cool, which is all of them. I can be found on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR. I can be found on Blue Sky at HMRC, the number 4 EVR.bluesky.social.
Go ahead, Cyber.
You can find me here. You can find me in the new Plasticon Discord. And you can find me nowhere else. So don't look for me.
He likes to be incognito, much like Megamus, right? But anyway, yeah, if you guys have not joined, you guys can join the new, we have a new fan set up for this channel, and you guys can talk about all the other stuff that's coming up. If you guys have any suggestions, such, just pop them over in that, and we will take a gander over there and see what we'll talk about next week. So, without any further ado, we will see you guys next week. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Good night, everybody.